Hey, hey, there's a new face on your screen today. Where's Sean? Where in the world are Sean and Danny? I think we all know. Anyway, so you have me taking you through movement prep for deload week and strength and conditioning phase that we have coming up through October and the first half of November. Okay. What you're gonna need a glute loop. They are located on that rack if they're not laying in a pile when you come in. You're gonna need a lightish get-up bell and a medium get-up bell. This bell should be no less than a 16 kilo bell though, okay? So just grab something on the outside of the room for your second bell, okay? We have some things today that feel a little familiar. We're building on some things that we've done in previous movement prep. Our goal in movement prep series is to introduce you to some different movements, things that might feel really good to you, and get your body ramped up and ready to actually take on load. So if you ever see a student or an instructor adding something else into their movement prep, it's because they've tried it before and they took note that it felt really good for them before they did X, Y, or Z, okay? So we're gonna start with the mini band. We have a mini band square dance, little shuffle, okay? So we're gonna activate glutes, hips, and we're gonna start in this athletic stance. Band is either above or below your knees, okay? The closer you have it to your hips, the less load that it feels like it has. The further it is down your leg, feels like it's more load, okay? So I'm gonna start above my knees. I want you to think about your shuffle and your step initiating from your heel. So you're taking these tiny little steps, keeping tension in that band for the entire time. So I'm not taking these big steps and then letting the belt get loose, okay? And then I'm gonna shuffle backwards maybe. Instructor is just gonna call it. They'll tell you, or they'll just say make a square, okay? So now I'm leading with the other leg than what I did on that first one, and now I'm gonna come forward, okay? Nothing has rep ranges on the board today. You're just going to wait for the instructor to tell you when to start and when to stop, and if they have any switches they want you to make in that movement, okay? Next, we're gonna go to around the world. We're gonna work on some thoracic mobility, okay? Everything in our life right now has taken away our need to like rotate and look behind us. So we're gonna add it in and practice it, okay? Your lower body setup is going to be just like your armbar setup. Bottom leg is straight, top leg is bent, knee is resting on the floor. Your upper body, you're gonna take both arms straight out from your chest, place them together, and then you're gonna take that top hand and you're gonna trace the floor looking for rotation in that thoracic spine. I'm only going as far as I can while I maintain that top knee into the floor. So if I come here, my knee floats off, I've gone a little bit too far, okay? You might notice that you get a little bit more range of motion as you do each repetition. Okay. You also want to think about where your belly button is pointing. Here, it's pointing to the wall straight in front of me, and I want to maintain that for the entire tracing, okay? I don't want to come so far that it points up to the ceiling. Okay. You're going to do that on each side. The instructor will tell you when to switch as well. Okay. Next, we're going to load that half kneeling windmill that we've been practicing. We sprinkled that in at the end of our strength phase. Okay, so you're going to need a lightish bell, something that you can keep in that overhead position for anywhere from 5 to 10 repetitions. Okay, so that bell is going to come into a rack position on the side of your forward knee. Okay, if you need assistance in the press, you're just going to assist press it with your other hand. Okay, remember, knuckles stay to the ceiling. This arm is staying fixed. My body is rotating underneath it. Okay, so you can come into this forward lunge position, open back up, hinge. Okay, so you're getting a lot of shoulder, a lot of core, a lot of hip lumbopelvis. So kind of this whole area from shoulder blades all the way down to your glutes. Don't be afraid to tuck the back toes on that back foot. You might find that you feel more stable in that. Again, instructor will tell you when to switch sides. Goblet clean to march is with the other bell that you acquired and brought into your square. This is something heavy enough that it takes a little bit of force, a little bit of power and speed to get it up in that racked position or that goblet hold position. If you have a hard time with speed in your swings or your cleans, you felt like they were a little bit sluggish, you never had that nice float of your kettlebell, this is a good drill to practice some of that speed. It also helps you feel comfortable racking in that goblet position a larger bell for goblet squats. Okay? So you're gonna start like you would for a deadlift. You're gonna grab the handle here at the top like you would for a deadlift, and you're gonna transition to holding it on the horns here at the top. So that's gonna look like this. Lots of power. When you get up into this plank position, into this goblet hold, you're gonna add in a march. This may differ from instructor to instructor. It may be adding in a series of 4 or whatever they feel is gonna work good that day. But that's gonna work on that speed of your hip hinge. It's also keeping that nice stacked position of shoulders over hips, hips over heels to get your core and upper body warmed up as well, okay? Dead hang is our final thing on our movement prep. That gives us an opportunity to get our arms overhead, work on our grip strength, decompress that spine. You're just gonna hold that for whatever feels good for you. So I think that's everything. Have an awesome deload week and an awesome strength and conditioning week.